We're live now.
There it is.
What's up, YouTubers? Welcome to another live stream on Pack Photos. Joined today by a very special guest. We got Anayat, longtime homie, comic aficionado, overall comic enthusiast.
Oh, okay.
Give me the taglines here.
Okay.
Before we get started, shout outs to regular Gonk. What's up, Gonk? How's it going in Australia?
Gonk, yeah.
So today we're gonna go over our top 5 underrated, most slept on Marvel comics. Before we do all that, let us know a little bit about yourself tonight. How did you get into comics? Do you remember your first one you got into, or got you into it, I should say?
The first one that got me into it. Yo, wow. It's been so long. I don't know. It feels like there was never a first one, bro. It had to be some old X-Men for sure. I remember there was a ton of comic book stores where we grew up at. There was tons and tons of them, and that's a long time ago. So lunch money could buy you some fly comics. Yo, you know what it is? I'll tell you right now. I remember there was a store called James Way. It was like a Woolworth type joint, and they had they had 6 tube socks, and in the back of the pack of tube socks was like an X-Men comic. It was like a promotional. And that was my first comic. I got it in some socks at a discount retailer. That was the first one I got. And that's how I started, man. I was probably 8, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Hasn't stopped. Man.
That's dope. So how me and Anayat know each other, just a little backstory is my cousin Boogers Slime, I guess.
Oh, there he is, Big Boogers. Shout out.
John, and then my older brother, House Cars or Guaita Cars. My older brother Albert had the Fantastic Four X-Men crossover, Doom possessed X-Men, and they're fighting Fantastic Four.
Oh.
I remember seeing that, and then John had Jim Lee Psylocke, and I never saw that type of artwork before in his basement. That shit blew my mind, the art style of that.
Bro,
those are you guys were my first introduction of comic.
Yeah. Hey, Jim Lee Psylocke blew everybody's mind, my guy. You're not the only one. That was a game changer, man.
Yeah, but we'll have to bring them on after, sometime soon we can share some of these things. But I do want to kick it off with some honorable mentions from you. And then after that, we'll dive into our top 5. But before that, Gonk, we're doing good. That's good. But no, you're doing well. He says the most recent Secret Wars with God Emperor Doom is pretty underrated. Love that book. Is that where he's wearing the white outfit? Have you read that one, the latest Secret Wars?
Nah, man. Nah. Let's see.
Okay. Let us know, Gonk, if that's it. But without further ado, go and kick us off with that honorable mention.
Honorable mentions. I was telling Pac everybody earlier that everything I have will lean in a specific way. All right, you're gonna see a recurring theme here. Honorable mention right here. Boom. Can you see it? Let me take it out.
Let's full screen it.
We're keeping it very dorky with the. See that right there? Who is that?
Ooh, is that Storm, Colossus? Who else we got back there?
That is Storm and Colossus. That's Valkyrie in the back. That's Warlock, and you get a little bit of Wolverine. This is Chris Claremont and Art Adams at their all-time dorkiness of mythology and everything. Yes, that is Storm wielding the hammer.
Oh, wow.
She's worthy. That's my girl, and she is worthy, just so everybody knows, man. Bananas.
So she wielded Mjolnir. I didn't know that because I took a photo a few years ago of Storm holding the hammer. I didn't realize she actually held it.
Well, there's a long story. I don't know if there's spoilers from 1985, but so there's this whole thread where they, for whatever reason, had Asgard and the X world to just hit each other. And so there was this big thing where they go back and forth and they all turn into the gods. And Loki makes a promise to never fuck with that. Oh, can I curse?
Yeah, you can. You say whatever you want.
He makes a promise to never fuck with the X-Men again, but of course he lies. And then so he gets into Illyana's dream, right? Magic, Colossus's little sister. And then through her dream, they all magically transport into Asgard. And then Loki tricks her into thinking she's wielding the hammer. And of course, Wolverine comes in to try to save her. And she blasts him with the hammer. Lies ensue. It's a whole thing, and she gets the hammer. for like a hot minute. That's it.
That's
totally worth it just to see this cover right there, man. Just to see it happen.
Yeah.
Unreal. Art Adams art and Chris Claremont being bonkers, man. Totally a good one.
I'm gonna have to check that out. First, I give a shout out to the Don Juan. What's up, homie? He also has been in the comics lately, so we have to hit him up sometime.
All right.
Gong said, yeah, that was the issue where Dr. Doom's wearing a white suit. I only know because I bought the action figure, but I don't know too much about the comic.
We might have to peep that. I've never seen Dr. Doom in white. Let me go. You want to do some quick ones real quick? You want to do some more real honorable mentions?
Some rapid fire. I'll leave the floor. I'll give you the floor.
I told you I'm going to get excited, man. I'm going to get excited. Boom. Living Monolith, one of the most bizarre characters ever in the world. Started out as like he becomes the living planet. He starts out as a pharaoh. What's going on, Marvel? He's like in the first early, maybe 25 issues of the OG X-Men before they were Uncanny. Just a banana story. This is the format that God Loves, Man Kills came in when they were doing these bound ones. Super bizarre, super weird, incredible art. It's all painted.
Is he in New York? Is that the Twin Towers in the back?
Yep.
Whoa, what?
You might find me you might not see me again after this. Just letting you know. Somebody might see this in my face and not like how it goes. So some Blackwater activity could be coming up. Bizarre story, super interesting character. I know everybody's up on colored people in comics. One of the first. And of course, they made him a pharaoh. So let's just leave that alone. Next one, here we go.
X-Force.
Uncanny X-Force. Do y'all know this one? Rick Remender and Opeña in the most. There she is.
Psylocke, Phantom X, Deadpool, shit.
Deadpool, Phantom X, Asian Psylocke, Wolverine, and my guy Archangel. So if you watch the Deadpool 2, right, at the end of it, you know how he gets all burnt out and he comes with the red eyes? You see him? So I think this is what's coming up next for all you speculators. That's probably what's coming. So there's that. This one, I don't know if y'all know this one, Fear Itself. I'm a huge Colossus fan. And there was a time when he was just Colossus. And then Colossus ran into Juggernaut. And he became... Ooh, I'm about to take it real nerd school. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Taking the tape off. Juggalossus. Look at it. Colossus with the mask of Sidorak. It's incredible. The helmet is all hail his. And then last one, quick. I talk too much, Babs. Here we go. Mobius, Silver Surfer on Epic, wherever my hand is. Super weird, super bizarre. All Mobius, all his crazy colors. It's about the meaning of life. It's a European comic with Marvel stuff in it. It's just absolutely bananas. Super underrated. If you can find both issues, you're in luck. But it has nothing to do, it doesn't look like a Marvel comic at all. It's just full on a European Mobius comic with Silver Surfer and Galactus talking about the nature of man and humanity. Spectacular. Spectacular, super underrated.
We're live again. Hopefully the same people come back because we had a crowd in here a second ago. But they were all I was getting texts from people like, where'd you go? Yo, what happened? I really left you on the spot. I'm sorry, my dude.
I aim to please. I hope I've performed up to, and you'll never know. You'll never know.
All right, so
replay.
We'll do if you go through your, I left at the X-Force. What was your other honorable mention?
You left at X-Force. You missed a lot.
I did.
X-Force, you got that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I got that one.
I was saying, you read it?
Yeah.
Spectacular. Super weird. Totally good. What else did I go to? Did you get Living Monolith? We got that one. Oh, here we go. X-Men, Fear Itself. Sorry, I had all the stuff beautifully.
I'm sorry. You got to redo everything again, man.
Nah, man, it's fine. So this is the first appearance of Juggalossus. I don't know if you know about that. When he got the mask, I had no idea. I had stopped reading Marvel for a while, and then I'm reading my number 5, and then I'm like, whoa, when did that happen?
Yeah.
Two of my favorite muscleheads together. And then the last honorable mention was this gem, this jewel right here.
Ooh.
Mobius doing Silver Surfer, full on European comic. It's Totally bizarre. Doesn't even look like an American comic at all. I know.
Give you the full screen.
I know. It's bananas. It's bananas.
Really?
It's just about like, what's the meaning of life? Look at the lettering. Look at that.
Who did this?
Mobius, man, one of the greatest of all time on Epic. He did the whole thing himself. This is when they were doing all kinds of fun stuff. This hand right here. They were doing Star Comics. They were doing all kinds of just weird stuff. And how they got Mobius, who knows? One of the greatest to ever do it in any. He's top 5 greatest comics artists in the world. He's spectacular. And they gave him Silver Surfer. It was bonkers.
What year did that come out?
Ooh, let's check the videotape. Bro, this was $1 when it came out, and they were charging a high premium. 1988.
Wow.
1988. Look at that art, man. Look at that.
Yeah. Damn.
Unbelievable.
All right, so to go through your honorable mentions. All right, so I think I do have one honorable mention. Some of these I don't have with me. They're still in my mom's spot. I got to pick them up. But this one, you're going to notice a theme with my list. Let's see if I can find it here. So I'm going to pull up a picture of it.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have the actual issue.
All right, man.
Let's go ahead and share.
I'm super curious. You don't understand. I'm like, oh, where is this going to go? Where is this going?
So it was part of a Marvel's 2-in-1. It was The Thing.
Bro, I think I have that.
I remember buying this at Richmond Comic-Con.
Nice.
I was looking for this. So basically, it's all of them versus the champion of the universe. And I'm a huge fan of crossovers and like seeing all these brute forces come together and team up and shit and fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only issue with this was that champion disqualified Hulk right away. And someone who's like a huge mark for Hulk.
Right.
I was like, damn, yeah, they got him out. But the winner was eventually Ben Grimm. He didn't actually beat him, but as you can see in this panel right here, it's the champion essentially just said, you know, you're kind of on my level at that point, you know?
Has the champion been in anything else ever since this?
Yes, and he's
okay.
on one of my lists. I'll show you.
All right, I'm with it. Yo, his hair is spectacular.
JJ says, so awesome. Yo, thanks for sticking around, JJ. Sorry about everyone was watching before. Sorry earlier. You buy cheap, you get cheap. That's what you get with the internet, I guess.
There it is, yeah.
But yeah, he's got luscious locks. Man, I was mad because I think Hulk would have put up a fight, but he basically murked that fool out. He said, "Now you're gone."
I might have this issue because it's such a ridiculous cover. Who we got? Thor, Colossus, Sasquatch. Who's that? Namor in the back?
Oh, yeah.
I hate that guy so much, man.
Namor?
Yeah, there's only one person I hate more than Namor. It's Scott motherfucking Summers. I hate that.
What? You
I
hate Cyclops? No.
Scott is an asshole. Fuck that guy, man.
Cyclops is the GOAT now.
Right.
All right.
There we go, man.
All right, so then that's my one honorable mention. I'll kick off my list. So this is going to be my number 5.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. We're going back to the Nomad days.
Oh, wow.
But this is the interesting thing. At first glance, you're like, all right, that's Steve Rogers Nomad, but it's not. It's Jack Monroe. And for those of you who don't know, Jack Monroe basically was obsessed with like Steve Rogers growing up and Bucky Barnes. He eventually took up a mantle as Bucky. He followed in Steve's footsteps by becoming the Nomad. And the reason why I love this issue is because you do get a guest appearance from Captain America, Steve Rogers.
I gotta know. Open it up, that front page. Who wrote it? Who drew it?
So, publication. Where we got here? I'm not as knowledgeable when it comes to the art direct. Fry and McKenna.
Wow, that's a deep cut. I don't even know, man. Wow.
Basically, it takes place in Miami, and he's stopping some criminals, helping a lady in distress.
Hey,
but it's cool. There's a panel in here while I look for it where like he throws something at the security camera, and it's kind of reminiscent of the Captain America shield, but it's right here. So he knocks out the security cam with like some sort of like medallion thing. But I was like, okay, there's his shield throwing abilities right there.
Right.
But you do see him encounter Steve Rogers right there.
Oh man, they got him larger than life too, man. He is extra swole. Look at him. They got Cap looking huge.
But Nomad to me is one of those like slept on characters because he essentially has a skill set of Cap, whether it's Jack Monroe or Steve Rogers, but he's more so not following the you know what I mean.
Does he have any super? Has he got the serum in him, or he's just high on life?
Hyped high on life, I'd say on this one. But
the guns are incredible, man. You see, jeez, man, he's out here.
You can tell this is a '90s inspired one or a '90s.
Sure. What's that cover price? What are we looking at?
This one was $1. Yeah,
that's later in the days. Wow.
Yeah,
that's dope, man.
And that's the thing the reason why I like this is when I first saw it initially, I was like, oh, it's Steve Rogers. But then I read more about Jack Monroe and who he was. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I didn't know there was other variations of Nomad. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a world I am unfamiliar with, man. I am unfamiliar with. I was betrayed by Captain America. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Oh, no.
Betrayed by the Cap, man, by the Captain.
That's my number 5.
All right, my number 5 is kind of a cheat. It's kind of a cheat, but I always, for years, where I'm at with this.
Okay.
This unreal, man. So the story, again, this is let me see. So this is Bendis. I think Jason Aaron wrote a little bit of it. I know that Hickman did some. Matt Fraction's in there. What year did this come out?
2013? No.
Maybe. Is it 13? We might have to ask Uncle Google out here and get data from Star Trek or something. Hold on.
Let's see.
You got it?
2012 crossover. And the only reason why I know that is because I don't mean to take away from your.
Nah, take it away, man.
There was a Marvel Legends when they were coming back. There was supposed to be a Phoenix Force Cyclops figure. They only made like 2 or 3 in production. They never really went with it. And I think one sold on eBay like 6 years ago for like 9 G's or 5 G's.
All right. You got to relax, Cyclops. Nobody wants Cyclops that much.
No, that's a dope character, though. Okay, so go ahead.
It's incredible. So you know the story. I don't know if folks know the story on this one, right? So this is fresh after House of M. Scarlet Witch, Wanda, you jerk, wakes up one day and hits you off with a no more mutants, you asshole. So she kills everybody. Phoenix Force gets wind of it. Phoenix Force is like, yo, more mutants, we're doing it. So it comes through, blasting through the universe. It's incredible, tearing shit up. There's a little fake me out space cop Nova. He's like a little version of it, and he comes in, he gets his ass whooped. He Paul Revere's. He lets everybody know the Phoenix is coming. And Hope Summers, right? This is Hope Summers era. So Cable is the weird Marty McFly. Hope Summers comes in, and she's like, I want the Phoenix Force. Like, you can't handle it. So Scott starts beating her up. Scott Summers beating up a 12-year-old girl. How's that for your character, Scott?
I didn't say he was my favorite. He's cool.
What's that?
I didn't say he was my favorite.
So anyways, so the Phoenix Force comes. She's not ready for it. So she gets a plan with Wolverine. So they start fighting. The Avengers say, look, we can't have Phoenix come here. Wolverine's like, yo, I'm just going to kill her, bro. Like, I got to kill her right now, just like I should have killed Jean Grey. I'm killing her. They're like, not happening. All this beef ensues. They end up going to the moon because that's what the X-Men do. When shit gets crazy, they go to another planet. They go. The Phoenix Force comes. She's not ready. Scott Summers, Namor, Magic, Colossus, and I'm missing one. Who's the fifth? The White Queen. All get the Phoenix Force. What's her name?
Emma Frost.
Emma Frost. Yep. They all 5 get the Phoenix Force. They go about terraforming the Earth, which is what they're doing now. I don't know if you know what's going on with the X-Men now.
House of X powers and that? No.
That happened, bro. They're on Mars. They're terraforming Mars. The new X-Men is going to be called X-Men Red because they're on Mars, man. Come on. What? They're on Mars. Yo, Earth is whack. Moon's whack. We're going to Mars. So anyways, they come in, they're terraforming the universe. They're like, yo, or the Earth, we're making it a mutant, the most magnificent place. They're solving all the world's problems. But Captain America got a hair up his ass because that's what he does. That's what he does. He can't have it anymore. They make a plan with Tony Stark. And who comes to save the day? The fucking Iron Fist and his man. Yeah, the Thunderer. What's his name?
Danny Rand?
No, not Danny Rand. No, Iron Fist. What's the other guy's name? The Thunder. I can't remember his name. At any rate, so it becomes this big thing. Can I tell the end? Because it's outrageous. I tell the end. Scarlet Witch comes by, and she's like, "Oh no, no more mutants. You gotta go." And so the Phoenix and the Scarlet Witch are having this huge battle. They decide the only way to do this is for science to meet magic. They beat the Phoenix out of Scott. It lands in Hope Summers because she's like a Jean Grey version of the future, right? It ends with the Scarlet Witch holding hands with Hope Summers. They look at each other in the face, and they say together, "No more Phoenix." And it just, yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Totally worth it, though, because what the fuck is that? And it starts the beef between Namor and Black Panther, RIP, RSVP, the King of Wakanda, Chadwick Boseman. But it's one of the most bizarre reads in the world. It's incredible. I love it. I love it.
I remember someone telling me, like, doesn't Cyclops go, like, ham and start murking people when he gets the Phoenix Force? Like, he just obliterates
everybody dies. Everybody's catching wild L's, man, because Scott Summers he's got the Captain America size hair up his ass, man. Those two guys just got to relax. If there's anybody who would benefit from legalized marijuana, it's those two fuckers.
Wow. That's a good banger for number 5. All right, I don't know.
Sorry, man, that was a lot. That series is crazy, man.
I don't know how to follow it up, but my number 4 then, is going to be the Incredible Hulk Myth Conceptions Part 3 of 3.
Oh,
it's the okay. Yeah, so I am a huge fan of the MCU, and I didn't know that Hulk and Hela actually had a meeting. Like, they actually meet in the comics. So this was a cool crossover for me just because I'm a huge Hulk mark. It's Professor Hulk in this one. You're going to see a theme with the other part of my list. But the front cover is just fucking dank. Like, it says "To Hell and Back," and you see him right there.
Wow, that's giving me Rob Liefeld vibes. Who's that? Who did the art?
It's not Rob Liefeld. Well, they're hiding his. No, yeah, because he can draw feet. So actually, I can't Jonah Rob Liefeld. He reposted one of my stop motions. So I can't.
Did he really? Oh yeah, you got to relax. You got to take that. We got to reel that one in.
Who did the artwork on this? As y'all can see, I'm not as knowledgeable as our guy right here. My bad.
Sorry, it's okay, man. We can talk about it later.
All right, we can
skip it.
But so basically, anytime I see the Hulk and Asgard or in some sort of form, like interacting with Asgardians, that shit's wild to me because I always wonder how he would do in that format.
Yeah.
So in Thor Ragnarok, the movie, he kind of got a glimpse of Asgard. You do see Fenris Wolf here, but I want like this type of encounter right here.
Okay.
Asgard.
Wild.
Yeah. And Hela, to their credit, MCU they did a good job getting her like outfit and how her stylized in the MCU.
Nailed it. It's crazy because that's in that same one that I pulled. Because I know you messed with the Asgardians or whatever, but she's in here too, and they nailed it, man. They really did. Let me see. Where's a good one? Let me get a good panel of her in here. Oh, by the way, in this one here, if you ever want to get your hand, you can find this at a dollar bin easily. Warlock from New Mutants shows up and decides to transform himself into the Starship Enterprise to come and save the day.
Wait, what? He does?
Look, Warlock from New Mutants. Look at that. Can you see it?
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. You can't go wrong with the level of stupidity in comic books, man. Just the nerddom. Unstoppable. Unstoppable. Wow. That's a good one. All right, here's my number 4. You ready?
Yeah.
1980, 88. One shot. Spider-Man versus Wolverine.
Oh, well, let's see this one.
Bringing out one of his 25th anniversary. Here it is. This was a whopping $2.50. I couldn't afford that in my wildest dreams. My brother bought it. My big brother bought it for like $5. I thought he was the richest man alive. I'm like, clearly that guy's living his big life. I wasn't allowed to read it. When I finally read it, I didn't understand what's happening because this is the 80s. This is 87, my bad. and it has more dialogue in it. It's like a novel. This is how they used to do it back in the day. So here's what happens. And this is super cool for a number of reasons. One, besides these two guys fighting, anytime I can see Peter Parker catch a wild L, I'm ready for it. So it starts out, Wolverine's in, this is before the Berlin Wall fell. So Wolverine's in communist Berlin.
Wow. What?
Killing people. In the first 2 panels, he kills like 18 people. He's protecting somebody named Charlie because Charlie got double crossed by the KGB. So we don't know what happens. We split out. We go to New York. Peter Parker's there. Black suit Peter, by the way.
Not right. Symbiote suit?
Symbiote suit Peter. Look at the art on this. This is crazy times. So it's basically a spy novel. So Peter shows up late to a robbery. 2 people die, right? Then he shows up to Times Square and 2 people get shot, assassinated. So in like 2 days, Peter Parker has witnessed 4 murders, right? And we just come off fresh of Wolverine just like straight up bodying like 25 people. So you already see what's going on. Peter's like, yo, I'm done. I can't be Spider-Man anymore. He's like, I need to take a break. J. Jonah Jameson gets a visit from a guy named Ned. Ned Leeds.
Oh, shit.
Right? Ned Leeds, famously played by our Pinoy brother. What's my guy's name?
Jacob Batalon, I think.
Oh, my God. That guy. Ned Leeds shows up. He tells J. Jonah Jameson some shit's going down in Germany. There's this guy named Charlie who's like a double agent who got double crossed. It turns out Wolverine knows who Charlie is. Some wild shit goes down. They both end up going to Germany, hot on the trail of this person. Ned Leeds with photographer Peter Parker. They go to Germany. Wolverine shows up. He says, you don't know what you're messing with. Charlie is too much. It's a spy drama. Ned Leeds gets too close to the hot info, gets murdered.
What?
Nope. Cut. Death of Ned Leeds right here. They had to retcon him back in and then super retcon him back in for the MCU. So what happens is, it turns out Charlie is Charlemagne, and actually this hot lady,
let's see,
who's Wolverine's lady friend. They go to a restaurant. It's a trap. They're about to get murdered. Peter comes in. He hates being Spider-Man. He has to go to a costume store. He gets a Spider-Man costume from a kid's store, puts it on. So now we have Wolverine in the brown and Spider-Man back in the red and blue, because Wolverine at the time was in the blue and yellow.
So, wait, so Spider-Man got the costume from a store? Or Wolverine?
From a store. Wolverine had it in his suitcase, this old one, just to bring him back in here.
That's crazy.
They go to Germany. Go ahead, my bad.
No, good.
They go to Germany, right? Here's what happens. The person who killed the people in New Time City was Charlie, who was killing the people who double-crossed her years ago. So she's on a hot trail of like getting full revenge, and she kills everybody, and she's in Germany. She sends for Wolverine because she knows she's going to die. She doesn't want to be tortured. So Wolverine is meant to go there and kill her. So he shows up to kill her, pulls the claws right in their gut. Peter Parker's like, hey, I'm in everybody's business. Why are you killing this lady? Doesn't let her do it. Doesn't let him do it. Peter Parker and fucking Wolverine go head up in a graveyard. And they reach an impasse. And Peter Parker says, all right, Wolverine, because he's getting his ass whooped. He's like, I'm going to snap your neck. Wolverine's like, I'm going to pop my claws right underneath your throat because you're a piece of shit.
So they just get in.
Bro, they're like beating the donkey shit out of each other.
Who wins this matchup?
Wolverine's beating his ass. He's beating his ass. So he doesn't know what to do. Parker does. Yeah. So Peter Parker gets up. He freaks out. A helicopter comes. And he's like, I'm here to save the lady. Wolverine dips out. He stands up. Peter gets a spider sense coming up behind him. He turns around thinking it's Wolverine. He's like, I just got to clock the shit out of this motherfucker. It turns out it's Charlie. He murders Charlie. Peter Parker is a homicidal maniac. One of the craziest things in the world. You can find this shit for like maybe $12. It's one of the greatest reads ever. Super underrated. It's a spy drama. I did no justice to how complicated the story is.
Right.
Ned Leeds dies. Peter Parker's wearing a costume. He punches a lady in the face and kills her. It's the greatest shit ever.
There's no like consequence for him killing her. Like Wolverine doesn't like buck back or anything.
All he said, no, because she wanted to die. Like she was ready to die.
Okay.
All he says is, well, he's going to have to carry that one with him for a while, knowing that he's just traumatized Peter Parker for the rest of his life. It's the best. It's so good.
What an asshole.
Murderous body count Wolverine is one of the greatest things ever, man. Fuck all this James Howlett. I'm some farmer from fucking England. Fuck that guy, man. Hell no.
See, that's interesting. That so during that time he was wearing the gold and blue outfit, but he just switched.
Yeah, he switched because I think he was going incognito. At that time, like they had him switching back and forth a lot, but it was always a big deal.
I always wondered if it was something with the artist that drew it. Because do you remember how like Todd McFarlane came about with like Venom? He got tired. He didn't want to draw Spider-Man in that black suit, so he's like, all right, let's just move it to somebody else. Creative. Yeah. So I'm wondering if whoever like drew that was like, all right, I want to draw Wolverine, but with his brown and gold outfit. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. It's interesting to think about. I don't know because the artist and the writer here are totally different. Like they're people that I hadn't heard of. Doesn't mean that they're not the shit. I just don't know who they are. I mean, it's a full-on spy drama. It's like that big, bro. Like it's it's like a book. You know what I mean? At that time, comics were probably like 75, maybe $1, 75 cents, maybe $1. That's just $2.50. You know what I mean? It's like, like, okay, somebody's playing lotto scratchers here. Like, we can't afford that kind of nonsense.
All right, so that was a heavy number 4.
Right? We're gonna be here all night, man. I'm sorry.
No, please. I enjoy it. So I don't have this one with me. I bought this digitally. So just to preface it, when Avengers 1 came out in 2012, and they showed the after credits for Thanos, I had no idea who this guy was. So it got me looking at the comics. Long story short, that movie got me back into comics. I read Infinity Gauntlet, and then it just spiraled into other stuff I read. And then I actually read this one, which is my number 3. Let's see. My number 3 is going to be this one, which I think was almost as good as Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, shit.
Infinity War, yeah. This one was with Adam. This one focused solely on Adam Warlock's journey and his alter ego, which is the evil Magi. Magi or Magi? I can't remember how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about this is it starts off with a bunch of doppelgangers of all these characters you see here, and they're attacking them and shit. It was dope, and it also answered a lot of my questions, because in Infinity Gauntlet, there's a lot of villains and heroes missing. You don't hear from like Dr. Doom or Kang.
Yeah.
Dr. Doom and Kang work together in this storyline, which is the best, because they want to capture the Infinity Gauntlet.
Right.
And I think Kang, up until recently, because he's in the MCU now, I thought Kang was the most underrated villain. He doesn't get as much recognition as he should.
For sure, yeah.
And it's funny because they both meet up with Dr. Doom and Kang meet up, but in their heads they're like, all right, well, I'm going to screw this dude over once I get the gauntlet. Screw it.
Like,
So when they finally meet up with the Magi and get the gauntlet from him, they're both, I think Doom puts it on and just tries to blast Kang. It was the best shit ever. But I'm a huge fan of crossovers. That's why this one's on my list. I try not to keep this list too much of a crossover list because, I want to keep it interesting. But this is easily one of my favorite crossover events. Of course, it's Jim Starlin, so he always kills it. But
King, man, that guy was on some different shit, man. He was like, we're going to outer space and we're staying there.
Yeah,
we're not coming back, man.
Yeah,
that guy's an animal. That's a crazy wraparound, man.
It really is. Yeah, this was, I think, because I bought the digital copy. This is basically the front cover of it.
Dope. Super dope, man. Good pick.
Yeah.
There's some deep cuts in there, man. That's like over there by Gambit. That's the girl from Alpha Flight. That's what's it? Not Vindicator. What is his name?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, isn't it Vindicator? No.
It is Vindicator?
Yeah, but he's
his wife, right?
Huh?
That's his wife, right?
Yeah.
With the maple leaf? Wow. Wow,
I
there's
think
some
that speedball next to him too.
Yeah, man. Wow, what a great cover.
This
Look
thing's
at OG Scarlet. Look at OG. What's her name? Scarlett Johansson. What's her character? What's her Black Widow?
Black Widow. Where's she at? Oh, right here. Yeah.
Behind Nova. Oh my god.
You got multiple, man.
Horrible.
They got Wolfsbane in the back.
Yeah, there goes Moon Knight back there. How's that show, by the way? Is it good?
It's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got Black Knight. Yeah, you got a bunch of people. Gamora.
Nice, man. What a great cover. Wolfsbane all the way in the back. Wow.
I don't know who this dude with the red jacket is, though.
That's God, what's his name? Something Wonder. It's not Mr. Wonderful. I'm talking about Paul Orndorff out here.
It's not Wonder Man, right? Because Wonder Man's right here. His arm's like right there.
Where?
Right here next to Scarlet. Next to Black Widow.
Nah, I don't. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take that back. You're right. I don't know who that is. We're only one way to find out, man. We're gonna have to ask Uncle Google on that one. I like it though. What a great cover.
Yeah, this was easily one of my favorites just because it included Kang and Doctor Doom, which I think was missing in Infinity Gauntlet. But Infinity Gauntlet was cool because it had the Celestials and all that stuff.
Yeah, man. Yep.
All right, so that's my number 3.
My number 3, another one. Again, you'll see a theme here. I like a good annual. They're self-contained. This is Captain America Annual number 8.
Ooh.
1987. I was a young guy. I was a full fucking. Oh, this is 86. I was 8 years old. Boom, right here.
Between the Wolverine.
Mike Zeck, the great Mike Zeck on this cover, legendary. The story is, who wrote this one? Mark Grunwald, who ended up running the bullpen. He became the head editor eventually at Marvel. So if you ever read those old 80s comics and you're like reading that bullpen, that's his bullpen. Super crazy story. Starts out with Wolverine, flannel era Wolverine, right? Not like a super spiffy guy. Nope, he's just a dirtbag with a straw hat in a bar in the woods somewhere, getting drunk. There's a huge fight going on behind him. He doesn't give a shit. There's some dude beating the crap out of everybody. They're like, this is when the world was incredibly racist and they were dropping M-bombs everywhere, calling them muties, beating the crap out of the guy. He wins the fight. The guy leaves. Wolverine's like, I don't care. He stumbles out drunk. The dude gets accosted and beat up by a robot, beats the shit out of the dude. Wolverine realizes he is a mutant named Nuclo, who has slight radiation nuclear powers or whatever. Turns out a robot beats him up. The robot belongs to a guy whose son has nuclear psychosis, which was a thing apparently in 1986, which I didn't know the fuck about. So this was when little kids were so terrified that there was going to be a nuclear war, they would become virtually comatose. So the guy's name is Overrider, right? And his power is he can look at machines and like control them. So he decides for the sake of his son, he's going to get a robot, which he does. He steals it from a program called TESS, which was a total elimination of super soldiers, right? So the robot was created so when the super soldiers who went to go kill Hitler came back, that they didn't become the race of super soldiers themselves. So Franklin Roosevelt created a robot to kill the killing machines that he made to kill the Nazis.
What?
I wish I was making this up. It's so great. So Captain America comes in and he's hot on the trail. So this is the time when there was a national snitch line called the Stars and Stripes. So if you wanted to snitch, all you had to do was call Captain America. He literally has a van with a computer in it that he rides his motorcycle to. I got to find it. You're not going to believe me. You're not going to believe me.
The snitch line?
He's got a snitch line, so you can just dry snitch on anybody anytime you want. It's the most outrageous thing you ever seen in your life. I'm not going to find it now because I'm laughing too hard. They take the robot. They go to get the robot covered in adamantium. So then Captain America talking wild shit on Wolverine. Their worlds converge, right? So Wolverine's getting revenge over this mutant guy who got beat up by the robot. Captain America is doing God's work by trying to save America from this robot. Turns out all of them are here to fight this guy who just wants to save his child from nuclear psychosis by taking all of nuclear bombs in the world, firing them up, taking them down into the center of the ocean, but not detonating them, and therefore having world peace and saving his son from having nuclear psychosis. What in the fuck are you guys talking about? What a great comic. It's so good. You can find this maybe for $7. Totally worth it. Please read it. It's so fantastic. I wish I was making this up. I wish I was making it. I'm really not. I'm really not making it up. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen in your life.
I was expecting you to say that they detonated.
Nope. Here he is. Flashback to Steve Rogers. There's the nuclear. That the guy that he's kissing. That's his son who has nuclear psychosis. Right. Flashback to Steve Rogers punching the doctor who made the super serum formula.
That's Professor Erikson? No way.
That's Professor Erikson. That's him. You got it.
Wow.
You got it. Yep. Here's the van that has a snitch line in it. That's Steve Rogers. That's what Steve Rogers used to look like back in the day. Look at that fucking Herb selling insurance. You look like a fucking goober, you fucking bullshit. I hate that guy.
Yeah, that's what they gotta make. Yeah, they gotta make that van. So that's the snitch van. He just
that's the snitch van, bro. He got a computer back there that he just fields calls from snitches the world over, man. It's incredible.
He doesn't show up in his suit. He just comes out in his blue suit, no Captain America suit.
Hey, it depends what kind of emergency we talk about.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to find a van now, like a van figure to put with my Captain.
There it is. There it is.
So I'll say this: I'm learning something new because everyone swears and prays by Steve Rogers. I don't know he was a snitch, man.
No, he wasn't even the snitch. He was like the dispatcher for the snitching. So you snitch to him, and then he goes and acts on it. It's the worst kind of person in the world, man. Who knows?
You need to tell me this dude was the dude snitching and telling about the snitches.
That's what he was doing, man.
People get stitches, dog. That's crazy.
Super narc. He's the captain of the narcs, man.
Oh man, what a narc. That's an interesting one. I might have to check that out, and I might have to look out this van now. I gotta go check it out.
Hey, that's the van. He had a motorcycle that he would ride to the van. So this is motorcycle era Captain America, man. Let me see if I can find one for you. It's pretty incredible. It's a pretty good comic. It's always been one of my favorites because it talks about a lot of stuff, right? So it talks about like the mental illness stuff. It talks about like the nuclear threat. There's Wolverine really taking care of another mutant, like, you know what I mean? Like where he's like, yo, I'm a man of the people, bro. Like, you're not going to be out here talking shit on my people, beating people up, hate crimes in the street. Like, he's like, I'm here for it. It's crazy. And Captain America in his own comic ends up looking like a real piece of shit. He really does. He ends up looking like a real bully. There's the bike. There's the bike. Can you see it? There it is. Him on the bike. That's the Captain America bike right there.
Whoa, look at the helmet. This dude, safety first, man.
Always safety first. Super soldier, been alive for 60 years, beating international and intergalactic ass, but he wears a helmet on his bike. That's an example for the children, bro. This fucking guy. Fucking hate that. I can't stand him sometimes.
Steve Jobs is a dirtbag, man.
There it is. Oh, wait, there's his van. Somehow magically red in this panel. Clearly was blue in the other panel. He got a phone in it. You see it?
Yeah.
He got a phone. For some reason, when he's in the van, his secret identity is safe, though. That's what's really important. Helmet when you're on the bike.
Look
when
at
you're in the van, it's all good.
Oh, my God. This dude rode around in a fucking moped in the van. This is what needs to come out, man. People need to know this about Captain
America. They gave Nick Fury a flying car, but they put Captain America on a bike. Come on, man. With a van.
Oh, man. That's a solid number 3 pick. I like that. I got to go. People got to know, man. Cap ain't that dude no more.
Cap ain't that dude. He wasn't about that life, man.
All right. Well, we're getting to number 2 now. So this is another one I don't have, but I have the OG runs of these two. But this one, people like to think, you know, again, I'm a huge Hulk fan, but Future Imperfect.
Oh, what is
number
that?
2. You never read this?
No, Peter David and George Perez together. I'm on it. I want it.
The introduction of the Maestro Hulk. So back when I was getting back into comics after Avengers, I was reading Infinity Gauntlet, all those other ones, and then I'd read Planet Hulk because I never knew that existed. So I read Planet Hulk, and a lot of people like to think that's like the best Hulk run was like Planet Hulk, World War Hulk. I think it's Future Imperfect because Future Imperfect is basically Professor Hulk fighting himself in the future, who is the Maestro who survived like a nuclear waste. And the cool thing is, if I can find the picture, I'll pull it up. But the Maestro survived, and like, if you look at his lair, it's pretty freaking rad. Like, see if I can find it.
The Maestro always did have a good lair. I got to give him that. He's top notch on that one, man. He's up there with Ra's al Ghul. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to find, because like when I first read this, he had like Thor's hammer, Cap's shield, Magneto's helmet, Juggernaut's helmet.
Who's this? Maestro?
Yeah.
Oh, Maestro's living his life, huh? He's really doing it out here.
Okay, cool. I found it here. Let me share this screen. Let's see. Share screen. But that's my number 2.
Wow.
And let me see if I can get it. Here we go. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see. It's a little blurry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got Magneto's helmet. He's got Black Knight's Cap shield. U.S. agent shield.
Helmet right there.
He's got U.S. agent's shield just for the hell of it. He's got a Sentinel head, Professor Xavier's chair.
That's a Nova's helmet? Wow. Is this spot? Wow.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm really in this screen. I'm really looking right now. Oh,
Come on, if I could find, here, this might be a higher quality. Yeah, okay, this is better.
Wow.
So, can you see it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's mask. He got everything in there.
He's got Doc Ock's tentacles.
My guy's out here really killing people, man.
Yeah, he took everyone.
Bodied them. Wow. I'm going to have to read that one. My Peter David Hulk run is the one that he did that was, super famous, right? The one that McFarlane first drew on. Where it's him and the homie. That was another van story. Marvel and the Vans was real big. So Vans. I didn't even realize George Perez was drawing for Marvel at that time. Wow. I might have to pick that up, man.
If I can find the OG ones, I'll send them your way. But it was cool because the
I
OG
still have your Planet Hulk from a million years ago. I have it somewhere, and I will send it to you along with your super secret surprise. That's definitely going to happen.
They did bring them back later on, like in modern stuff, because you got to rehash old storylines because I can't think of anything. But they he's got Doctor Strange cape and like all the Iron Man helmets here. But yeah, this one I would prefer. I prefer over Planet Hulk. I love Planet Hulk, but look who it is.
Planet Hulk. Oh, there he is. Yeah. What's going on, man?
So
there he is.
Yeah, I put that at number 2. It's a different take on the Hulk because he does, a lot of people think he was just a mindless brute, but I think in the 90s they really explored a lot more of his character.
They hooked him up. If you remember, they did. Peter David had that run with him, right? Clearly had a second run with him. They also had him, Joe Fixit, if you remember that. He went back to Gray, and then he was sitting there being a hitman. He was working in Vegas. You remember that?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Him and Wolverine were teamed up, dude.
Yeah, man. Wolverine number 8 for all you train spotters out there, man. One of the greatest covers ever, man. It's the Gray Hulk in a white suit, Wolverine in a white suit, standing next to each other in a cover. Phenomenal. Crazy. I have it somewhere. I could dig it out, but then we'd be doing that. You ready?
Let's do another one, man. All right, yeah, that was my number 2, Future Imperfect. What's yours, man?
My number 2 and number 1 is a super duper toss up. This is let me take them out. I'm blind, everybody. So Chris Claremont X-Men is my favorite by far. People say he's heavy-handed and ham-fisted. Well, I like ham sandwiches and heavy hands. He's my favorite. Barry Windsor Smith is one of my favorite comic artists ever. This is them two collaborating. Barry Windsor Smith, the incredible Barry Windsor Smith, off of Conan, did all kinds of dope shit. It's called Life Death. They didn't allow him to do it 2 consecutive issues. So if you could imagine, in October of 1980, when this came out, let's see, 84. So I was 6. So clearly I went digging in the crates. So this comes out in 84, issue 86, 186. You got to wait 12 months to get part 2. That's how long it was taking to write issues at the time. This is opens up like this. Storm, in an effort to save Rogue, takes a bullet from some zapper ray gun
What?
And it takes away her powers. I don't know if you know about this. Storm had no powers for a while.
No.
This is Mohawk Storm, though. The most gangsterous Storm in the history of time. True G right there. One of the greatest X-Men, if not the greatest X-Men ever, right there.
Even more so than the giant size version?
Giant size version.
Storm. Black suit.
Oh, bro.
No.
Mohawk Storm? Mohawk Storm is the best, man. I'm sorry. I'm going to die on that hill, bro. Mohawk Storm is the best. Hands down, with the leather pants and the vest. She's too much fire. Can't handle them. She loses her powers. She goes into a deep depression. Our guy Forge, who has since been classified as Omega level. I don't know if you knew that about him, right?
What? Forge?
Yeah. In House of X, they had him up there, man, because he's too nice with the technology. So Forge they love each other. Interracial relationships in comic books, 1984, man. That's where it's at. She wakes up, she's full on depressed. She doesn't know where she is. Forge has taken her in his massive techno-magical place, and they just have drama and romance. It's incredible. And what is Forge doing with her? You find out that the gun that she took a bullet for Rogue for that stole her powers was his creation. Exactly. So what do you do with that piece of information? So they go through and they're just having these like really deep conversations, like what it means to be hurt, to be wounded, right? Because he was a Vietnam vet. That's where he lost his leg and like part of his body that time. And now she has no powers. So they have like these really long, interesting, deep conversations. Like, what does it mean to be hurt? What does it mean to be wounded? How do you live when you're not all of yourself? So in 1986 time, so 12 months go by and you get this issue. She's like, I need to go find out who I am. Can I even be Storm if I don't have the Storm? So she takes it to the fucking homeland. She goes to the homeland and goes on this like deep mission of finding meaning in her life. And she meets like a wizard and she goes on this journey. And at the end of the journey, she has this thing. The guy dies. There he is. There's the guru right there at the bottom. You'll see him on that panel. He passes away. She honors his memory. And she's like, bro, I'm Storm. I don't need powers, bro. I'm the shit. And she still stays the leader of the X-Men with no powers.
What?
That's a gangster, bro. She's a G. It's the most incredible story. It's unbelievable. You could literally find these both for a grand total of maybe $18 or cheaper. Incredible. One of the most underrated stories. It's got drama. It's got love. It's got interracial romance. It's got everything. Art by Barry Windsor Smith, the legend, Chris Claremont. It's phenomenal. It's all super hard for me to not make this number one. It's one of my favorite X-Men stories ever, and I read all the X-Men shit.
Yeah.
Please read it. It's fantastic.
And that's your number two?
That's my number two.
Wait, okay, so why did they make them wait a year just to release a second one?
Because Barry Windsor Smith draws slow as shit because this is what his drawings look like. And he's not rushing for nobody, bro. He's not rushing for anybody. Let me find a good panel. Like this is literally just some panels. It's like incredible. It's like, bro, who draws like that, man?
Yeah.
Look at the dress. Look what he's doing, bro. Like all of this. And Chris Claremont, I mean, they're just doing it, man. That's just what he does. He takes forever. He's super slow and he doesn't care. He's not going to be rushed. Look at the perspective on this stuff, man. It's insane. And this is a big issue, too. They were charging like, comics at the time were 65 cents. I'm the 75-cent era. This precedes me. They charged $1 for this. It was like a big deal. Special double-sized issue, the whole deal, man. Unreal. Just the two of them. They let them in a room together. Only Terry Austin did the inks, who always does him justice. Look at that. Look at that. Go ahead.
I'm still in shock that it was his bullet technology that.
Yeah, bro. Look at that. Oof. If you ever get to know me in a very personal way, this is tattooed on my body.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I fuck with Storm, bro.
Wow.
Barry Windsor Smith, Chris Claremont, do it. Terry Austin on the inks, unbelievable. Maybe $19 for both.
Maybe.
Perfect. Maybe. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about that shit.
It's okay. So what classifies Forge as Omega level? I gotta.
That's way later. I was rereading House of X Powers of 10. I was rereading that. So I got it on my Comixology app. I was just looking at it the other day. And this is the era now, right? Where they're doing like that was probably like 8 years ago now. Where they do like those like interstitials, right? Where it's like actual comic and then there's just like words, like it's actual like prose.
Yeah. No.
Bro. I got a Captain Picard around here somewhere. Slap the shit out of that guy. Come on, man.
All right, here's a better one. This was a better one.
There we go. I'll take it. So it's his ability to manipulate technology, right? That's what it is. He's like a mystic person because back then, if you were Native American, which he is, if you were Native American, you were made of magic. But he also happened to be good at gadgetry. So the two of them together, and over the course of time, they just made him. He's an Omega, man. Like he's the guy. He's up there with like fucking Cable and like Rachel Summers and shit like that. So it's pretty crazy.
That's interesting to hear. That's a slept-on character, that Matt Forge.
Forge is super dope, man. He's super dope, man.
Yeah, you'll have to forgive me. The only reason I know of Forge was from the animated series when he was running X Factor.
Hell yeah!
It was like Wolf Spain Strong Guy and like Polaris and Havoc and all that.
Yeah. Do you remember what Strong Guy's name was before?
No, what was it?
Guido.
Oh, that's right.
How's that for questionable fucking? How's that for problematic, man?
Oh man. All right. So here we go. We got our number ones.
Let's do it.
And this one was the one that inspired me to like hit you up and say, yo, I don't think people are really appreciate this as much as they should. You saw earlier, it's kind of a Jim Starlin trend. But my number one slept on Marvel comic. It's the first graphic novel of Marvel. It is The Death of Captain Marvel, aka Marvel.
Whoa, fire!
And
that is super OG. I love it.
Jim Starlin. And so there's a lot to this because when he wrote this, so basically what happens is Marvel gets a disease and you tell he's dying, and there's no way to save him, essentially. Right around this time, I believe Jim Starlin's dad was going through he had cancer, essentially. So you can feel the emotion in this graphic novel up until the end where they're all like by his bed and like that shit makes you tear up,
Oh man.
And I think Marvel is a hell underrated character. Basically, the last panel is them by his tombstone, and then the star right there.
Oh yeah.
This is easily one of my favorite crossover events, and a sad one too, just because of that.
Yeah.
The death of Marvel, man, the slept-on character, and they never really. I think they brought him back in some other ways, but not like the stupid stuff like the death of Superman and he comes back, or the death of Captain America and he comes. They stayed keeping him like this, and I'm glad for Jim Starlin. Just out of respect, they kept him dead.
Wow. Who did the art on that? Was it just a bunch of different people?
Yeah, it was Starlin, Lee, Thomas, Englehart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Doug. Wow. Okay. Deep cut. Wow.
Yeah. And then this was one of the, I think, OG comic covers right here. But you see Mr. Fantastic, Drax, Iron Man, Hulk, Ben Grimm, Spider-Man. I was thinking about recreating this photo just because I have Marvel and I have all these figures essentially.
Oh, do it, man. Come on, man.
Yeah. Except for Daredevil and Drax. But yeah, it's a powerful one, man.
Why is Daredevil there? Daredevil's another guy. What a jerk, man. I don't like that guy, man. I never liked Daredevil, man. I just thought, he's cool and everything, but I'm like, come on, man. Like, he just seems really pompous. Like, okay, guy, whatever. You're blind and you can beat me up. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Stop flaunting it.
Basically what happens, like, spoilers, but when you go through the panels, he meets up with Thanos. He sees Mistress Death and he's like, this is it. And then stops.
Oh. Yeah, man. Starlin knows the drama, man.
He really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, like right there, the last panel is like, "This is how our journey shall end," and then that's it. Yeah,
That's drama.
it really is. Okay, so yeah, so hitting more of the feels. There's the line that shows his heart rate, and that's it.
Is that the Watcher?
Which one? Oh yeah, the Watcher's there too. Yeah,
Ooh, wow.
yeah. And that's it.
Wow.
And then the next thing you see is them at his tombstone. Look at Beast all proper posed and shit.
Yeah, man, that guy in his underwear.
Hank McCoy's there.
Everybody else got clothes on, Hank. He didn't come out with his balls hanging out. What a dick. That guy's a jerk.
Yeah.
Yo,
I
so
will-
was that?
Good. Yeah,
Now,
good.
was it? It appeared in like issues, so that was like a Fantastic Four number 249, and then it someplace else, or was it like its own series?
Its own series, essentially.
Wow, that's dope, man. That's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, this one hits the feels, man. I was like, I could put something else, but I think this one like is underrated. Like no one, because everyone now with recency stuff, it's like it's Carol Danvers, Kamala Khan, but I don't think they truly ever give respect to Marvel, dude.
Yeah, man. Wow. Well, jeez, that's a hard, tough act to follow, right there, man. And they got Death right on the cover.
Yeah, it's just holding it right there.
Wow. Oh, and they're giving you the Infinity Crisis on Infinity Crisis pose. I just couldn't
You
believe it.
saw that?
Yeah, man. Like, remember when Superman's holding Supergirl on the cover of that shit? Wow. Wow.
Deep cuts.
That's a deep cut, man. That made me sad, man. That made me think about my own mortality.
Oh, damn, my bad. I didn't realize-
Good, man.
Take us home, man. Take us with a solid number one to bring us back.
This one is feels also, though. This one is feels. This is my favorite comic book
Uh-oh.
of all time. Another annual, so it's a self-contained story. This is it right here. This is Uncanny X-Men number 11, 1987. I was a little dude. I was very impressionable. It is really something else. It's the great Chris Claremont, Alan Davis. I just had to check who did the art because I remember Art Adams doesn't do these crazy lines. Like everything is like so thin. Like, you know what I mean? Like his boots. Why would he have these weird horns on his boots? Like, what does that do?
Yeah.
What is that? And then why also he's got it too? What are they? You go to the same fucking place to go shopping? Why you got bootstraps but no boots? You're barefoot, my guy. Like, what's happening?
What is
Crazy
that for?
person. So here's Wolverine, my favorite Wolverine, drunk, stumbling, straw hat, flannel shirt Wolverine, the best one ever. Comes home drunk with a royal fuss. Look at these. This is one of the things I always loved about the X-Men is they're like, sounds so stupid, like real people, right? Like they're in their jammers. They're all living together. Look at gangster ass Mohawk Storm,
Yeah.
right? Just some people who live in a house. He's getting drunk as shit. Turns out he's getting drunk because that's the time of year that he mourns losing his wife, remember? So he puts on his kimono and he does all kinds of magical Eastern things, right? This is Chris Claremont and his Orientalism at its finest. So what happens? Suddenly, some dude shows up. His name is Horde. Who is he? We don't know. Have we ever seen him? Nope. Will we ever see him again in comics? Nope. That's just it. So this is Psylocke pre-becoming Asian, pre-Jim Lee Psylocke right there. When really all she is Captain Britain's sister, right? She has like not really any identity besides that.
Uh-huh.
So Horde takes them to this planet where they have to enter this citadel. Crazy. Alan Davis is savage for drawing this shit, right?
Yeah.
They have to go to the citadel and they just have to sort of like figure out like, all right, you got to go in, you come out. If you go in and you can't figure out how to come out, I'm going to take over Earth and it's my planet. And if you do that right, I'll just dip out, whatever. He's a planet conqueror. And here's also for all those who forgot, Storm and Wolverine used to go at it.
That's
And
right.
Wolverine was short and little, and Storm was super tall. So this is like the exact opposite of Halle Berry as Storm being super short and Hugh Jackman being super tall. This is what it's always looked like and always has been right there. And so again, that's people forget the Storm was the leader of the X-Men for like a decade plus. So they get into this place. It's the weirdest mix of X-Men ever. It's Havoc, Long Shot, if you guys remember Long Shot. Havoc, Long Shot, Captain Britain, Mohawk Storm, Rogue, Dazzler, Megan, who I don't know if people know who Megan is. And there's another honorable mention. Y'all need to all go read the Chris Claremont, Alan Davis, I think it is, Excalibur. It's fucking wild as shit. And Rogue, I already said Rogue, Dazzler, Wolverine. That's the crew. That's the X-Men that we get in this annual. That's who we're getting for our $1.25. Who we're getting for these 64 pages. That's the crew. So they go in one by one in that massive citadel, and each and every one of them is tempted with something that's the most important to them, right? So Dazzler always wanted to be a movie star. So she's tempted with like, hey, if you could be tempted with never being a mutant and just being a movie star, would you do it? And then Havoc's is like, you're always in the shadow of your brother, right? What would you want more than anything else? Would you just want to burn so bright that you would just become like the nuclear atom that you are? And then everybody gets tempted one by one, right? Would you want to be a lawyer, Dazzler, and take down the Kingpin?
Wilson Fisk.
Wilson Fisk, you got it.
Big ass chair.
Yo, he's a big ass boy, man. That's a big guy, man. And then who else gets it? So then Psylocke, Betsy Braddock, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there you see that's Dazzler ending up homeless because she never knew what she wanted, right? So everybody gets tempted. Everybody has these weird things, and they just fade into the citadel. Betsy Braddock's like, "What the fuck? Everybody's gone. I don't understand." She smashes into the thing, and look, her hand is peeling because she realizes she's just a shell. She has no identity. She doesn't know what the fuck's going on. It's the wildest shit, like this super like character study of each of these weirdly put together groups, right?
Is that Jocasta?
Looks just fucking like it, doesn't it? Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
So then you see Captain Britain, like what's he always wanted? Just him and his wife and kids, just to be square as fuck. Yeah. So they all go one by one. They all get tempted until it's just Storm and Wolverine. So Wolverine gets tempted. There she is. Look at his outfit. Look at Wolverine in a onesie. Can I even show it?
What the hell?
They're all getting tempted by the things they wanted the most. So Storm, look at this shit. She just wants to be a pickpocket, man. She wants the nightlife. She likes that good life, man.
Yeah.
One by one, they all get tempted, except Wolverine finds the center of the citadel. You see it?
Yeah.
He's the only one that can fight it. He finally breaks through. He sacrifices Storm, and you see their horde has broken off Betsy Braddock's arm. He's just taking them all down one by one. Wolverine finally regains his consciousness. Horde hits him with the space javelin of doom, right?
Yeah.
Check this shit out. Unbelievable. He's talking wild shit, super greasy. He's just about to pull him apart. Wolverine flings a drop of his blood. It hits this magic stone in the center of the citadel. And because of his regenerative powers, he comes back. And so now Wolverine has all the powers of Horde right here. Intergalactic powers. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. What does he do with it? He's like, I'm talking like God. What am I going to do? And he does the most Wolverine fucking shit ever. Pull out his claws and just break shit.
Really?
Blows it up. The whole citadel explodes. Horde dies. They all end up magically back in their house in this weird, like, introspective journey. And he just ends up back thinking about his girl, man. That's it. He's just like, bro, I just want to honor my girl, man. I just want to feel sad tonight. Tonight's the night, man. And everybody had this huge journey. And this motherfucker literally saved the universe all by himself.
Wow.
This is one, like, I've had at least like 40 of this issue ever in my life. This shit's so beat up. You can probably find this for maybe $6, maybe. It is my absolute favorite comic book. Full stop. This is the one. super underrated. Just another weird Chris Claremont, like telling like these weird, dramatic, introspective stories, like really thinking about the characters, like what would they do if they could have it all, right? Like if you could have it all and you're Storm, like what would you do? Would you just be like, yo, I want to run the X-Men, I want to do this, I want to do that, or would you just be like, yo, I just want to have fun, man. I'm tired of being a fucking goddess and a hero. I just want to be a pickpocket. I just want to dance. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy.
That shows the like human side, like you said.
Yeah, it really does. And that's the cool thing about the X-Men, man. That's the cool thing about Chris Claremont writing it, because he's just like a writer. Super overly dramatic. All of that. All the criticisms are super valid and true. But man, I like it. I like it, man. Because you see them in their jammies, bro. Like they're just regular, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Is there the onesie on Wolverine look like he's from MASH?
Yeah.
Do we ever see Horde again, or that's the only time you ever see him?
That's Chris Claremont, bro. He writes for what he's writing for. That's why these things like these annuals, I always loved them so much, right? They were a little bit more, right? But like you get these like fully self-contained, all the way beginning, all the way to the end, right? With whatever cast the characters, because there's never any implications for what's happening in an annual unless it's like a big event, like Acts of Vengeance or some shit like that, right? Like so crazy, man. Super crazy.
That's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut, bro. We're going annuals, man.
Wow, that's wow. So that's our list, man. Damn, I don't know where to go from there.
Read more X-Men. Read more X-Men, man. That's where it's at, man.
All right. Well, the next one we'll do is not top. Like I guess our personal favorite X-Men characters.
Oh shit.
Top 5.
Okay.
Do this.
I'm here for it.
Look forward to that next one. But sorry again, y'all, about the first time around. Sorry, E. Also, I apologize. Like,
not a problem, man.
30 podcasts and like twice that's ever happened, and this shit's
all right.
But I will. You guys can catch us on the replay. I'm going to stitch together the first portion of the podcast, and the second, just combine it into one. Thanks to people joining the first one as well as this one. Shout out to John. Before we peace out, though, let us know about this shirt you're rocking, about the place.
Oh, Anyone Comics? Local comic book store, Crown Heights. Please go in there. Tell them Anaya sent you. Shout out Demetrius and Peter. We had and Ainsley. Wonderful. Thad. Spectacular. Your local neighborhood comic book shop. Crown Heights, Brooklyn. They're phenomenal. Off the 2 and the 3. Please go. They just opened another store in Long Island City called Everyone Comics. So it's anyone and everyone. Please go. One of the best comic book stores, best people in the world, man. They'll sort you out every single time.
And then to that, I'll also shout out Toshi Station, Echo Base. There's location in Centerville and Springfield. You've been with me at that one in Springfield before.
That's right. We got some dope shit there, too.
Yeah. Shout out to them. They're probably the dopest comic book toy shop in Northern Virginia. That's where I got this physical copy, because I originally had this in digital, but I felt like this is one of those collections you got to have in hand. So shout out to them. And shout out again to Anaya for joining us. Thank you again, man. We'll do this again next time. We're going to do our top 5 X-Men characters.
I'm with it. All right, man. It's good seeing you again, man.
Take care, man.
All right, man. Later, man. Peace.
Take care, guys.